Hello, my dear friend. Welcome to VUS Learning English podcast. My name is Anna, and I am so happy you are here with me today. If you are new here, welcome. We are a family of learners from all around the world. If you are coming back, welcome home. It is always wonderful to have you. Today, we are going to talk about something very important. We will talk about how to learn to speak English, not just learn, but to speak it easily, to speak it with a happy heart. This episode is for you. It is a gift for you because you are trying so hard, and I want to help you. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for giving your time to this. If you enjoy our time together, please think about tapping the like button. It is a small click, but it helps so much. It helps other English learners just like you find our family. Also, please subscribe or follow the podcast. This way, you will not miss our next time together. Before we start, I want to ask you a question. Where are you listening from today? Please tell me in the comments. I love to read where all my friends are. It makes the world feel small and friendly. Okay, are you ready? Let's begin. I want you to think about something. You think learning to speak English well is about studying books, right? You think it is about remembering grammar rules. You think it is about learning thousands of new words. Maybe you believe that if you study very, very hard, English will just click. It will suddenly become easy. You have spent so many years studying, maybe even 10 years or 20 years. Your brain feels full of information. You have notebooks full of rules. You have apps on your phone with many, many flashcards. You see the number of words you learned, 5,000 words, 10,000 words, and you think, I should be proud. But then the moment comes, the moment to speak. Someone asks you a question in English, and your mind feels empty. It feels white and quiet. Where did all the words go? Where did all the rules go? You try to say something, but the words are slow. They are broken. They are not what you want to say. And then there is silence, a quiet moment that feels so long. In that silence, you feel sad. You feel like you have failed again. My dear friend, I am here to tell you something. That feeling, it is not your fault. And the way you learned, maybe it was not the right way for you. All that hard work, all that studying, it is good, but it is not the only way. Sometimes it can feel like a cage. It can make you feel trapped. The real key to speaking English with joy is not about putting more rules in your head. It is not about learning more words. It is about one small change in your mind. A change in how you think. This change will help you see English in a new way. It might even help you see yourself in a new way. It is not about learning more. It is about becoming a different kind of person. And when you make this change, everything will feel new. Everything will feel easier. Your life with English will change. Section 1. The big wrong idea about English. For many years, we have been told a story about learning English. This story is a wrong idea. It is a very big wrong idea. It is in our schools. It is in our books. And maybe we never thought to ask, is this idea true? The wrong idea is this. English is a school subject like math or history. It is a big mountain of facts, and you must climb this mountain with all your power. We are taught that English is like a math problem. You follow the steps. 1, 2, 3, and you get the right answer. But a language is not a math problem. A language is alive. A language is for people. It is for making friends. It is for sharing your ideas. It is for living your life. The ways you learned in school, maybe they were not helpful. Maybe those ways made you feel frustrated. Maybe those ways made you feel sad. They can feel like walls, like a room with no door. Let's look at these walls together, one by one. The first wall is what I call the grammar dream. We are taught that perfect grammar is the most important thing. We are given big, heavy books. These books are full of rules, verb tenses, conditional clauses, so many difficult ideas. It feels like they are made to confuse you, not to help you. You start to believe you must know every rule. You must know everything before you can speak, before you have the right to speak. So you study, you become a walking book of grammar. But what happens when you talk to someone? A real conversation is fast. It moves and changes. You do not have time to open your mental grammar book. You do not have time to search for the right rule. While you are thinking, should I use who or whom? The conversation is gone. The other person is already talking about something new. When you worry so much about being correct, you become slow. You hesitate. You sound like a robot. But here's a secret. Native speakers break grammar rules all the time. They use short sentences. They use slang. They speak in a way that is not in the textbooks. Why? Because the goal of language is not to be perfect. The goal is to communicate. It is about sharing your idea. It is about making a connection. You are thinking being correct is the goal, but the real goal is being understood. This is a very, very important difference. Thinking about being correct all the time is a mistake that stops you. Now let's look at the second wall. I call this the word collector idea. This is the idea that you need more and more words to be fluent. You think, if I just knew more words, I could speak well. So you download apps. You make many flashcards. You spend hours and hours learning new words. You watch your list of words grow bigger. 5,000 words, 10,000 words, 15,000 words. And you feel like you are making progress. But this is not always true progress. Your problem was never about the number of words. Think about your own language. When you talk to your family or friends every day, do you use very difficult special words? Probably not. Most of our daily talks use simple, common words. The problem is not how many words you know. The problem is how you know them. The words are just memorized. They are stored in your brain like old papers in a box. They are not connected to your real thoughts. They are not part of the living, breathing you. Speaking fluently is not about having a big vocabulary. It is about using the vocabulary you have easily and without thinking. Collecting words you cannot use is like collecting beautiful stones, but never building a house with them. It feels like you are doing something useful, but you are still outside in the cold. So, where did we get these ideas that make us feel so stuck? We can look at one place, the traditional school system. For many of us, the first time we learned English was in a classroom. In that room, English was a subject, like chemistry or geography. It was something to study, something to be tested on, something to get a grade for. The whole system was made for one thing: passing exams. You needed to know grammar rules for the grammar test. You needed to know vocabulary words for the vocabulary test. Success was not about talking to a person from another country. Success was a letter on a paper, an A or a B or a C. This school system is the reason for many of your problems. It taught you to see English as a test, a performance. And in this test, every mistake is a failure. Mistakes mean a bad grade. This system taught you to be scared of mistakes. It forced you to be a passive learner, just taking in information, not an active user of a wonderful tool. This created a deep, deep feeling of worry about speaking. Because speaking is the one test you cannot memorize all the answers for. And this brings us to the biggest wall, the real thing that stops you, the real reason you are not fluent. It is not your grammar. It is not your vocabulary. It is fear. Fear is the number one reason people do not become fluent. Fear is an invisible wall. It stops the words in your throat. It is a very strong feeling, and it comes directly from the wrong ideas you were taught. Let's talk about this fear. First, there is the fear of making mistakes. School taught you that mistakes are bad, so you try to be perfect, a perfectionist. You think you need to build a perfect, beautiful sentence in your head. Only then can you say it out loud. But this search for perfection makes you silent. It leads to paralysis. You are so afraid of saying something wrong that you say nothing at all. This fear is a cage, and the bars of the cage are the idea that you are always being graded. This leads to the next kind of fear, the fear of being judged. You worry. What will people think of me? Will they think I am not smart? Will they think I am not educated? You worry that if your English is not perfect, people will look down on you. You feel like there is a big light on you. The spotlight effect. You feel that everyone is watching you. Everyone is listening to your every small mistake. But the truth is different. In reality, most people are not judging you. They are just trying to understand you. They want to hear your idea. They want to hear your story. They probably will not even notice the small grammar mistake you are worrying about so much. But your fear does not know this. Your fear is like a loud voice in your ear. It screams, "Everyone is laughing at you. You are embarrassing yourself." This fear of what other people think is one of the biggest reasons for language anxiety. Finally, there is a third fear, the fear of your own mind, the fear of that moment when your mind goes completely blank, empty. You are speaking. You are in the middle of a sentence, and suddenly, nothing. The word is gone. The thought is gone. It is a scary feeling. It feels like your brain just stops working. It feels like a huge failure. This happens because your brain is doing too much work. It is trying to do many things at the same time. It is trying to think in your language. Then it tries to translate to English. Then it tries to remember grammar rules. Then it tries to find the right vocabulary word. Then it tries to check for mistakes. And it is also trying to listen to the other person. This is too much work for any brain. It is an impossible job. So your brain just pauses. It gets tired. And every time this happens, the fear gets stronger. It becomes a circle, a bad cycle. You fear your mind going blank. This fear makes you anxious. This anxiety makes your brain work even harder. and this makes it more likely that your mind will go blank. These fears are the real reason you are not fluent. They were born from a broken way of learning. The problem is not your English. The problem is your relationship with English, how you feel about it. You see English as a danger, a test, a reason to feel shame. As long as you feel this way, you will never feel free. To become fluent, you do not need another textbook. You do not need another grammar rule. You need a revolution, a change inside your mind. Section 2. The big change, the new mindset for fluency. So if studying more is not the answer, what is? What is the solution? The solution is not something you do. It is not a new method or a new trick. It is a change in who you are. It is one big, powerful idea. And when you truly believe this idea, everything changes. Here's the idea. You must stop being an English student. And you must start being an English user. Let me say that again. It is so important. Stop being a student. Start being a user. This small change in your mind unlocks everything. It sounds simple, but it is very, very powerful. It will break down the walls of fear you have lived inside. Let's think about this. What is the difference between a student and a user? A student's goal is to be correct. A user's goal is to be understood. A student studies for a test in the future. A user uses the language to live their life right now. A student sees mistakes as failures, bad marks. A user sees mistakes as helpful information, steps on a path. A student is passive. They only receive information. A user is active. They play with the language. They create with it. This is not just a game of words. This is a new way to see your whole journey. When you are a student, you are always preparing. You are always getting ready for a day in the future. A day when you will finally be good enough to speak. But that day never comes. You always feel you need to learn a little more. When you become a user, you decide something different. You decide that you are good enough today. You decide that the English you have right now is a tool. It may be a small tool. It may be an imperfect tool, but it is a tool you can use. Let me give you a picture. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. How do you learn? Do you sit in a room for 2 years? Do you read books about bicycles? Do you study pictures of the wheels and the pedals? Of course not. If you did that, you might know a lot about bicycles, but you would not know how to ride one. You learn to ride a bicycle by getting on the bicycle. You learn by doing. The first time you ride, it is not easy. You wobble. You might fall. Your riding is messy. It is not perfect. But you are riding. Imagine a kind friend is teaching you. When you fall, does your friend shout at you? No. Your friend says, "That's okay. Try again. Maybe try looking forward." Every fall is not a failure. It is a lesson. It is feedback. The book about bicycles, your grammar book, can be useful sometimes. If your bicycle makes a strange noise, you might look in the book. But you do not read the book while you are riding down a hill. You trust yourself. You feel the bicycle. You learn from experience. You must treat English in exactly the same way. Your years of study were years of reading the bicycle manual. Now it is time to get on the bicycle and ride. You will wobble. You will make mistakes. It will be messy. but you will be using English, not just studying it. And by using it, you will become a good, confident English speaker. To feel like a user, you need to learn like the best language learners in the world. Who are they? Children. Think about how a small child learns to talk. They have no fear. They have no shame. A child does not study grammar. A child just says, "Me go store yesterday." Does a parent get angry about the grammar? No. A parent smiles and says, "Oh, you went to the store. What did you buy?" The message was understood. That is success. And the child also heard a gentle, natural correction. They learn without even trying. A child learns to walk by falling down again and again. They do not lie on the floor and think, "Walking is not for me. I give up." No, they get up. They try again. Every fall is just part of learning. You need to find that child inside you again. Give yourself permission to be a beginner. Give yourself permission to be imperfect. Give yourself permission to fall down in conversations. If you are not making mistakes, you are not learning. You are staying in your safe, small comfort zone. Mistakes are not a sign that you are weak. Mistakes are proof that you are brave. They are proof that you are trying. This all sounds nice, but how do you do it? How do you make this change in your mind? Especially when you have years and years of feeling afraid. You have to do it with a plan. You have to actively change the way your brain thinks. It starts with a simple practice, a practice of positive self-talk. Right now, there is a little voice in your head, and maybe that voice is not very kind. Maybe that voice is your biggest critic. It whispers things like, "My English is terrible," or "I am going to sound so stupid," or "They are all going to judge me." This negative voice makes you feel anxious. It makes it physically harder to speak. We need to replace that negative voice with a new voice, a kind voice, a strong voice, an encouraging voice. Starting today, I want you to practice a new habit. I want you to say some new words to yourself. Say them every day. Say them out loud. Look at your face in the mirror when you say them. Repeat them many times. Repeat them until they feel true, more true than your fear. Here are the words. They are simple but powerful. English is easy. I can speak English. I am improving every day. Let's talk about why these words work. When you say English is easy, you are fighting the old idea that it is an impossible mountain. It doesn't mean there are no challenges. It means you are changing how you see those challenges. When you say, "I can speak English," you are telling your mind that you are capable. You are focusing on your ability, not your fear. And when you say, "I am improving every day," you are thinking with a growth mindset. This idea says that you are on a journey. You are not at the end. It gives you permission to be imperfect today because you know that you are moving forward step by step. Thinking this way with a growth mindset is very important for learning. It helps you feel less worried and more motivated. When you repeat these kind words to yourself, you are really changing your brain. You are telling it how to think in a way that helps you. If these ideas are starting to make sense, if you feel a little bit of that heavy feeling go away, please do something for me. Hit that like button. It tells me that this message is helping you, and it helps this podcast find more people who feel stuck in the same way. Thank you. Section 3. The action, your new life with English. The new mindset is the key, but action is what opens the door. Changing your thinking from student to user is the first big step. Now you need to build a new life for this new identity. You need to replace your old hard studying habits. You need new, easy using habits. This is not about adding more work to your busy day. It is about putting English into your normal life. In small ways. In fun ways. We will build a new daily routine for you. This routine has 4 simple habits. These habits will create a soft but strong push toward fluency. Are you ready to build your new life? Habit number 1, the inner monologue habit. This habit helps you start thinking in English. The biggest problem for fluent speaking is translation. Right now, your brain might be doing a slow 3-step dance. Step 1, you have a thought in your native language. Step 2, you try to translate that thought into English. Step 3, you try to speak the translated words. This is slow. It is tiring. It is not natural. Our goal is to remove step 2. The goal is to learn to think directly in English. This sounds difficult, but you can start today. You can start with a very simple private practice. The practice is this. Narrate your life in English, inside your own head, like you are telling a story about your own life to yourself. It starts when you wake up in the morning. When you open your eyes, start the English story. Okay, I'm awake now. I'm opening my eyes. The room is a little dark. I need to get out of bed. I am sitting up now. My feet are on the floor. Oh, the floor is cold. As you start your day, keep the story going. Just describe what you're doing, what you see, what you feel. You walk to the kitchen. I am walking to the kitchen now. I am hungry. I am opening the refrigerator. I see milk. I see eggs. And I see some juice. I think I will make toast. I am taking the bread. I am putting the bread in the toaster. At first, this will feel strange. It might feel a little silly. The sentences will be very simple. You will not know every word. That is okay. It does not matter. When you do not know a word, just describe it. For example, I am opening the box that makes bread hot and brown. The goal is not perfection. The goal is practice. The goal is to build a new road in your brain. A road that connects your thoughts directly to English words. You can do this anytime, anywhere. When you are walking on the street, I see a tall building. There are many people on the sidewalk. A red car is driving by. That is a very cute dog. This simple practice is amazing. It stops the translation machine in your head. It trains your brain to think in English. It is your own private practice. There is no one to judge you. There is no test. Habit number 2, the input immersion habit. This habit helps you create an English world around you. Your brain learns from what it sees and hears. To become a user of English, you need to be around it. You need to change your world so that English is not just a class you visit. It is the air you breathe. First, a very simple change. Change the language on your phone to English. Change the language on your computer and on your social media apps. This is a small action you do one time, but it creates hundreds of small English moments every day. You will learn words like settings, inbox, send, and share without even trying. Second, change what you use for fun. Think about what you already enjoy. Then just do it in English. Do you like to watch TV shows or movies? Watch them in English, and here's a very important tip. Use English subtitles. Do not use subtitles in your own language. Why? When you use subtitles in your native language, your brain gets lazy. It just reads. It doesn't listen to the English. But when you use English subtitles, you connect the sound of the word with the letters of the word. This is a very powerful way to learn. Do you like to listen to music? Make a playlist of English songs that you love. Find the lyrics online. Read them. Sing with the music. This is wonderful for learning the natural rhythm of English. Do you listen to podcasts when you travel to work? Find a podcast in English. Choose a topic you love. Maybe about cooking or sports or history. Even if you only understand 70 or 80%, it is okay. Your brain is learning the music and pattern of real conversation. The important thing is to choose something you really like. This should not feel like work. It should feel like fun. Habit number 3, the communication first habit. This habit helps you start speaking. This is the habit that can feel the most scary, but you must do it. You cannot learn to swim without getting in the water. You cannot become a speaker without speaking. But we will do it with our new mindset, the user mindset. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is simply to communicate. Your new habit is this. Speak in English for just 5 minutes every day. Just 5 minutes. Doing it every day is more important than doing it for a long time. 5 minutes every single day is much better than 1 hour on Saturday. How can you do this? Here are some ideas. First, talk to yourself out loud. This is the easiest way to start. Take your inner monologue from habit 1 and say the words. When you're alone in your house, just speak. Okay, I am washing the dishes. The water feels warm. You can also read a short story or an article out loud. This helps your mouth get used to making English sounds. Second, find a language partner. There are many websites and apps to find other language learners. You can find someone who is learning your language and who speaks English. You can help each other. Third, use a helpful script to start a conversation. When you talk to someone, you can be honest. This makes you feel less nervous. You can say something like this. Hi, thank you for talking with me. My goal right now is just to practice speaking. I want to feel more comfortable. I'm not trying to be perfect. So please, do not worry about correcting all my mistakes. I just want to have a conversation. This little speech is a gift. It gives you permission to relax. It gives the other person permission to relax too. For this habit, remember the number 1 rule. Communication is more important than perfection. In your 5 minutes of speaking, there is only one way to fail. The only failure is silence. A sentence with a mistake is a success. A broken sentence is a success. Getting your idea out, even with the wrong word, is a big success. You are on the bicycle and you are riding. It does not have to be beautiful. You just have to do it. Habit number 4, the mistake journal habit. This final habit will change how you feel about mistakes forever. Instead of being afraid of them, you will start to look for them. You will welcome them because you will see them for what they are. Proof that you are growing. Get a new notebook. This is your special mistake journal. Every day, try to find one mistake that you made. Maybe you said something wrong or you wrote something wrong. At the end of the day, write it down in your journal. Write it like this, in 3 parts. 1. The mistake. Today I said, I am agree with you. 2. The correction. The correct way is, I agree with you. 3. The feeling. When I made the mistake, I felt a little embarrassed, but now I feel good because I learned something new. This simple action is a revolution. It takes a moment of shame and turns it into a victory. It makes learning something you can see and touch. When you look at a page full of mistakes in your journal, do not feel sad. Feel proud. A page full of mistakes is not a page of failures. It is a page of courage. It is a diary of your brave journey. An empty journal means you are not trying. It means you are staying in your safe place. So go out and hunt for your mistakes. Write them down. Love them. They are the stones that build your path to fluency. At the beginning of our time together, I said something big. I said, this will change your life. I believe that is true. Because what we talked about today is more than just learning English. It is a new way to learn anything. It is a new way to face a challenge. And it is a new way to be kind to yourself. For a long time, you have felt like you were in a prison made of grammar rules, heavy vocabulary lists, and the cold floor of fear. You thought the only way to get out was to study harder, to build the walls of the prison even higher. The change from student to user is the key. It is the key that unlocks the prison door. It changes everything. English is no longer a test you can pass or fail. It is a tool you can use. It is no longer a reason to feel bad about yourself. It is a chance to connect with other people. This change is life-changing because it gives you freedom. Freedom from being perfect. It gives you the freedom to be a human being. The freedom to be messy. The freedom to make mistakes. And the freedom to learn from them. The freedom to communicate right now, today, with the English you have. The 4 habits. Thinking in English. Creating an English world. Speaking for 5 minutes. And celebrating your mistakes. These are not new chores for you to do. They are the first steps you take, the first steps into your new free life with English. The road to fluency is not a high, steep mountain you must climb. It is a gentle, beautiful path that you walk every day. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to begin. You do not need more information. You need more courage. Your journey to speaking English easily and naturally does not start when you open another book. It starts with one simple thought, one powerful change in your mind. I am no longer a student. I am a user. Start today. Start right now. Your new life is waiting for you. Thank you so much for listening today. It was wonderful to spend this time with you. Remember to be kind to yourself on your journey. Please leave a comment if this was helpful for you. And do not forget to subscribe so we can meet again. Until then, take care. See you next time, my friend.